The top of the Empire State Building.
Z100, New York.
It's Maxwell in our Z100 Artist Interview Lounge presented by Hackensack Meridian Health. And I have a bona fide superstar with a song that was just added to the Z100 playlist. None other than Dove Cameron in the Zoom room. What's up? How you doing, Dove?
I'm so fantastic now. How are you?
Well, it's super cool when I get to have these kinds of conversations with artists whose records we are playing, and we're sharing these messages and sharing these stories. And to know that this was one of the most recent adds to the biggest playlist on the planet. How full? Yeah, I mean, I know that's like a heavy question straight out the gate, but how full is your heart right now, homie?
No, so full. I mean, I have this first of all, because this has all been such a surprise, it's like everything I feel like is more emotional than it maybe even would be. Like I wrote this song not even thinking that maybe anybody would ever hear it. So anytime that we, like especially today when we heard that Boyfriend was just added to the playlist, I shed a tear. Like I'm not trying to be cheesy, but I was saying before that like New York has always felt more like home than anywhere else. So this was like particularly emotional. I put it on my story immediately. I was like, what's happening? So
You deserve it. And the thing that's really dope about your music and this song and how powerful it is the perspective that you're writing from. And I think that that's super important now for us to be able to be in a space where we can feel comfortable sharing our stories, no matter what perspective it's from. So Boyfriend, how precious is this record for you?
So precious and it's funny because it was the first song that I wrote right after tour ended at night. And then the next day I went to the studio and we sat down to write what we thought was going to be the EP. And so I think there was a certain sense of like freedom and playtime, because when you're diving into a body of work, you're not trying to write singles. You're just trying to kind of find the zone and the sound. And so Boyfriend was so free and so like, let's not write like anyone's going to hear it. And it was really something that like sonically I've been trying to find for a long time, something that I would listen to, something that like occupies my kind of villain main character playlist. And then also a really, exact replication and retelling of a very intimate interpersonal story for me. And the first time really writing, all of my songs are from a queer perspective because I'm a queer human. Yeah. But, this one was the first explicit, like, this is a queer anthem. Yeah. And you there's no way around it. And so I was it's so special to me that this is really the one to take off. It means more to me than I could ever put into words.
And the world has gravitated toward this song. Like you said, it might have been unexpected for you to have been in that moment where you are just writing for yourself. You're letting your emotions pour out. And to see that vulnerability is what the world is clamoring onto. I mean, you're talking these TikTok videos and the different variations, and now we got to get new sounds to it. I mean, to have the world really just, I don't know, sink into this song, because it is just so wholeheartedly who you are. As a songwriter, is there anything that feels better?
No. And I also think that I had told myself my whole life that like, that was never something I'd be able to do. You know what I mean? Like, I think
you proved yourself wrong.
I know. My producer, Evan, keeps texting me every time I send him something and I'm like, what? Like my brain is breaking every single day that this keeps, succeeding like this. And Evan always has this new running joke, my producer, he goes, surprise, because I have all these like stories about why I'm a failure and why like I'm not good enough to do X, Y, or Z, or I'll never be the person to do that. Like imposter syndrome. I think all creatives kind of have that. But mine was always like, this is the song that I would write, that I would like keep in my back pocket, being like, this is my favorite thing, but no one else is gonna like it. And so to see it succeeding in this way, you hit the nail on the head when you were saying like, is there anything better? There's quite literally nothing better. And I've always told myself this was never gonna happen. So every day is like waking up into some alternate reality that I keep waiting for the other shoe to drop. But it's just really magical. I feel really grateful and like honestly shy about it. I'm very it's very emotional for me. Yeah.
So this, this isn't totally new. The promo, the doing all these stuff, these things like this, and explaining what the stories are about. But to know that, that this is a part of the process, and you're able to get on this platform and really share more of who you are, because of a record that is so special. What does that mean for you to, to kind of be able to continue to talk about it and to amplify that voice and those voices for everyone who is looking for this song for whatever particular reason, or looking to you and kind of thinking, wow, man, if she can do it, I can do it. So to be able to be on these platforms and to share your story, how cool is that?
Oh my, I mean, it's the coolest thing in the world, especially because like growing up as a queer person, all of the songs on the radio were about straight relationships and
Yeah.
straight romances for the most part.
Yeah.
And I never thought that, that's what I keep having to pinch myself about too, is it's like, I keep talking to other, like the rest of my like sort of interpersonal queer community and being like, guys, what, like and I really feel like it feels like a group effort, even though,
Yeah.
like it just feels like a big win for all of us. Like
Yes.
this sort of feeling, like, and it makes me emotional to talk about, but like, just like having a queer song on the radio
Yeah.
that is like so explicitly queer,
Yeah.
it keeps blowing my mind. Like it wasn't even something that I was like trying to engineer or thinking it would happen. It's like a surprise in every way, and it's been so beautiful. And all my queer friends keep texting me being like, dude, like
Yes.
this is wacky. Like it feels like we're like sneaking in like in the suitcase or something. It's like
Sneaking in the
it's but
suitcase. I love that analogy.
but
Yeah.
we're not,
But
it's
you're
like
here.
it's so bold. It's so
Yes.
bold. And that's, I think, what's so special about it is the fact that it's so unabashedly queer and it's
Yeah.
succeeding.
Now,
Really
as you see
exciting.
the visuals, as you see everything kind of come together surrounding this record and the progress, with the EP and album down the road and all this kind of stuff, how proud are you of yourself to have, this vision in your mind play out the way that it is playing out, that maybe you had always hoped for, and to see it come to fruition? It's like, damn, yeah. Like Evan was saying, yeah, surprise, or, another one. Maybe you guys should start with that, like DJ Khaled, like another victory. How cool is that to see those moments? You know what I'm saying?
It's really, really cool. It's really cool too, because I think like, I think that because I started so young
Yeah.
in like the industry, there was this sort of like idea about who I was that was much more about the characters I had played than
Yeah.
even who I was. And because I started so young, I really hadn't fledged out who I was before I was like doing interviews with people being like,
Yeah.
so who are you? I was like, I'm 15. I'm going to tell you from, you know what I mean? It's like, it's
Understand.
hard. It's hard to present in a way that is authentic to you when you don't know yourself. And I think for a long time I was kind of scared that I was like forever going to be playing somewhat of like a part
Yeah.
even in my personal life, because people just literally didn't want to see beyond that. Like it was like, even though I've always been this person, people are like retroactively being like, oh, wait, you've been talking about your queerness for years. And it's like, yeah, it's just, it's a bit of like it's a bit of a mind bender, I think, being in the public eye and on a platform in that way simultaneously. But I think that like the fact that now with the success of Boyfriend, I'm able to like go to my label and be like, here are all of my ideas that I've really, really wanted to do. And I've been keeping in my like little stupid journal by my bedside for years. And instead of being like, okay, we'll consider those. And like, what do you think about working with this person or that or whatever? Like we have this idea. Everybody is very like, we want to go with what you want to do because it's the thing that, got us to where we are now. And that's something that as a creative, I've actually never experienced. So I'm very moved. And
I'd imagine that there's a really amazing sense of confidence that comes with that, to know that those feelings of, you being your best self and doing you can actually be, 100% successful, and to have the support from, others around you just for being yourself, and to be able to have that freedom. That's got to be like one of the main goals that any creative can be asking for. And here you are, staring it straight in the face and doing it, man. So congrats.
Thank you. Yeah, the amount of like crying voice notes that like my close friends have gotten in the last like 2 weeks of me being like, I don't know what's happening, but and like sending everybody, it's amazing. It's just amazing to feel. It's exactly that. I told my mom last night through tears, I was like, the reason that I think you hope to succeed as a creative is to hopefully then just get more freedom to create, kind of unabashedly, and have people leave you to your own instincts and devices. I think that's the dream. And how rare is that actually happens? I feel so lucky and supported and very connected to everybody listening, and super grateful that
goodness.
Well,
as we start to think about how this the rest of 2022 is shaping up, I mean, I know we're in a crazy time now with what's happening in the world, and we're all trying to put on a brave face and smile and push forward. What are some of those goals that you still have set for yourself that you're you're really looking forward to accomplishing?
Well, in the interest of manifesting and not
Yeah,
negating any
let's do
big
it.
wild dreams, my next step that I want to do, I want a full album. I want my debut album,
Hey.
and I want to go on a much bigger tour. And I have much more kind of like more specific nitty gritty stuff, but like I definitely think that the sort of like terrifying experience of working on my debut album of my dreams is something that would mean so much to me, especially now that I feel like I've really found what my sound in my space is.
Yeah.
And I also definitely, I had a small tour last year, and I really want to travel more, meet more people, have a bigger body of work that I feel represents me now as an artist. Yeah, I just really, and also, like work with other creatives who inspire me and who I feel connected to, because that's really where it all is these days. Is it's like you just want to be left alone in a room in your socks and your sweatshirt talking to somebody else who like sees the vision, right? That's the dream. That's all you need.
That is such an awesome visual. Just, yeah, you just want to be comfortable in who you are and surrounded by those who love you for who you are. It doesn't have to be the Louboutins and the Dolce Gabbana. It can just be that hoodie that you had stashed since high school with your, your favorite soccer team across the chest. But when you're creating from that space where it is so, it's so vulnerable and it's so authentic. That's what the world is looking for. And you have, if you were an archer, you pulled back that bow and arrow and you struck that bad boy right in the goddamn bullseye, fam.
Thank you so much.
Serious. Serious. All right, before we get you out of here, Dove, you're on the world famous Z100, okay? And I've got one final question I'm gonna throw your way, but I just ask that you keep it real, you keep it all the way 100 with me, all right?
All right.
I'm not going to ask you a question I wouldn't answer myself. So the question is, Dove Cameron, if you had to fight a cartoon character, who you taking on?
Wow, this is in depth. You really saved the hard hitters for the last question. Wow, I thought I was being vulnerable before. That's hard. I mean, well, actually, I think I would probably want a worthy adversary. Like, I think I would want to pick somebody difficult to fight. Cartoon character. I mean, listen. I'm a huge superhero fan, so like I gotta go with the classic. Like, if I guess my answer would be twofold. If I was Iron Man,
okay,
I would want to fight Batman, because gadget billionaire versus gadget billionaire.
Wow.
And those are my two favorite superheroes. So that would just be an experience in and of itself. You know what
gadget billionaire versus gadget billionaire. Who would win? Damn, dude.
That's a good question. That's what we're gonna figure out. That's what we're gonna figure out.
Quandary right there. That's the pickle we are in here.
That's the quandary. That's really the question of the day, is it not?
Oh my God. I am so ecstatic to be able to press play on this song that means so much to you on the big bad Z100. And radio stations across the world are getting this message. Before we go, Dove, what do you hope that fans take away from not only just this song, but I don't want you to have to go too further into it, but what you really appreciate most about them as fans?
Oh, well, I think that the definition of a fan, especially these days, is like people who are like-minded and who feel a close emotional affinity for each other. Like I feel to a fan is probably what they feel from me. It's like, it's just a close, magical kind of connection that you feel to somebody who you probably don't know in person. And that is the ultimate human magic. So I hope that, seriously, I hope that what people feel when they listen to this song, or I hope that like just people who feel out in the world in general that I'm somehow connected to cosmically, I hope that you feel so like in touch with the full breadth of your humanity. And I hope that you feel celebrated, and I hope that you care for yourself, and I hope that you prioritize yourself. And I hope that we get to meet in the safety of our little song pockets where we get to go to the virtual reality where everything is wonderful and good. And you prioritize yourself and your healing, and we all get to meet where it's, safe and loving.
I'm here in this hot ass hoodie getting goosebumps. Man, thank you for it all that you do and all that you continue to do, and congratulations on this being just another accomplishment and many more to come. Dove Cameron, when you make it here to New York City, to your home away from home, a big ass hug is waiting for you. Okay,
I can't wait. Thank you so much
Right
for
on.
your time. Thank you.
From the top of the Empire State Building,